We're here as they set up for Stand Down, which happens this weekend in San Diego. It's the 29th year. Stand Down started in San Diego, and what it is an event for homeless veterans. And Veterans Village of San Diego puts together with volunteers, board members, active duty military, puts together a whole weekend of services for homeless veterans and their families. It's Stand Down comes from the term when you're in active duty and at war. Stand Down is where you go away from the front to rest. And so the point is that homeless veterans who live on the streets get a weekend protected where they can just rest and not have to worry about anything. And during that time they get medical services, legal services, the range of services. They try to get on waiting lists to find housing, which is what they need as a platform to be successful at anything else.
I moved in Alpha Square just January. I've been homeless for quite a number of years. What a lot of the veterans are in need of right now is, they just need to be able to come somewhere and relax. They're hyper vigilant. Some of these men and women, sadly, have been on the street for quite a number of years. And they need to find some place to get the services they need, to help anchor their lives, so they've got a good foundation, and a track to run on. That's certainly what happened with me. It didn't happen overnight. I've been struggling, on and off, for the last 4+ decade, with trying to get my life right, and I haven't had a key to a home and a mailbox in quite a number of years, and I do now. So that, that's a huge deal for me, and I'm sure it would be a huge deal for other people.
The state is trying to do things to help our veterans. We have a new investment here locally, about $16 million to do housing in San Diego because of Proposition 41, which was something the voters supported last year that the legislature put on the ballot.
God bless Toni for, always been a champion for the poor. What you've done to stay, but what I've seen you do on the back of a pickup truck going around downtown, handing out stuff, that's where you get my respect. So we ask you to keep us in your prayers for our folks, our men and women that will be here this weekend, those who are on the street, our brothers and sisters, and for someday a central intake facility so we can do this every single day.
Stand Down is really important to me personally. I represent San Diego. San Diego is a military town. It's part of our history and our legacy. Every single member of my family, other than myself, actually served in active duty. My sister was in the Navy, my father was in the Navy, 2 brothers in the Army, all of my uncles, cousins. My brother was a Vietnam vet, and he needed services like this. There was a year I said to Phil and Darcy, what more can we do? I sponsor a tent. You see lots of people here. And they said, well, we run out of socks every single year. And I'm like, well, that is a simple thing in which people can come forward and help us do something that will benefit people. Socks, pretty simple. So we started Socks for Stand Down to respond to that need. And each year, as the organizers ran out of socks, we decided we'd take care. Since 2015, we've collected more than 5,000 pairs of socks.
One thing about the socks in the military, for those who served in grunt forces or ground forces, one of the first things I learned with the Marines is you may not be able to change your uniform, but they will stop and make you change your socks. And that part of having socks is so important, whether it's cold or hot. And that drive just means so much to the veterans that are here. Stand Down's more than just a handout of things. It helps them become part of a community again, to reach out and help one another, to be able to direct each other, to have a sense of pride again in who they were as military. And they served honorably, and we need to treat them honorably. And that's what Stand Down's about, providing every service within this several-acre land instead of people having to go from, Chula Vista to Oceanside to try and find that individual service that meets them. We bring those services here.
I'm thrilled to be doing this. It may seem like a simple thing, but the fact that you're here is gonna hopefully get out to the public and let them know there are things that they can do that's kind of simple. They can certainly support Stand Down, but they can also do some things like give us your socks.